Hi, so I'm here with Poppy from CivSoc, and we're going to do an interview as part of the Y series where we talk to some committee members from some other societies within um, engineering and science within the university to see how they're coping with COVID and the other factors that will affect their society for this term. So, if you just want to introduce yourself.
So I'm Poppy, and I am the Vice President of the Civil Engineering Society. Um, Civil Engineering Society is kind of a society that allows us to meet other people from different years in civil engineering that can either help us or give us some advice on how we can do our subjects. And if we're struggling with anything, we're starting a new mentoring scheme that we're going to pair people up and help people with anything they're struggling with.
And have you found with the situation currently with COVID, have you started thinking about how, as a society, it may change your structure to your usual activities?
We're gonna very much struggle trying to involve freshers into our society, because I don't think there's going to be any freshers fairs this year in the beginning, where we would normally have a couple of stands and we would introduce ourselves to any freshers doing engineering engineering subjects or anything. But we're going to try our hardest to promote through the web page, like the social medias of the university, and maybe potentially show up in like classes and stuff, because we think it is important for freshers to feel involved in their subjects, because it's very hard for engineering students to make friends with other students who are on their specific discipline, because we have a mixed first year. So we're going to try and think of like creative ways to introduce other freshers to people on their course and show them what civil engineering is about.
Yeah, I think for all societies, it's definitely going to be a challenge with freshers. Are you still thinking of planning or running any freshers events, or changing the way that you run them?
Um, I think a lot of them are going to have to change from to virtual meetings, depending on what's going on at the time, because we still don't know what's going to happen in the near future. But we are going to potentially set up like talk rooms where we will invite freshers, and we'll just have like a meeting where all the freshers can turn up and they can introduce themselves. And then we'll have other meetings where they will be introduced to other years, because we have a very big society who would be willing, like, who are very friendly, and everyone, yeah. Sorry.
Yeah, it's definitely a big society, CivSoc, because obviously it's almost for the whole discipline. Do you think that it will help having a larger base to do events sort of virtually or online?
uh, we're going to very much struggle to do a lot of the events we have always had in our calendar, because one of the first events we throw in, like typically in the year, is the high vis bar crawl, where we try and get as many freshers as possible to turn up, and we even have like some of the old students turn up for the first half, and we separate people into groups and they play we play like games and everything. And it's a good place, and it's one of the places where I met a lot of the girls on my course, and like
Mhm.
it was very good to meet new people, and I'm very good friends with a lot of the people I met on that day. But I think we're potentially, if everything starts to become a bit more normal, we might be having outdoor events where we would set up like a tent or a marquee, and then we could just have outdoor events where it's not such an issue to have like,
Yeah, hopefully that'll be a possibility soon.
yeah, because we have Selly Park and everything around us where we could just meet and do outdoor events. But it's whatever the guild will allow us to do, really.
It's just going to
It's
be so
likely
dependent on the
virtual events, though.
timing and what's going on at that time.
That's going to play like a major role in what's going to happen with the society. We've tried to help with people joining society. We've actually removed the fees to join society, so that, because we can't offer you a lot of things that we would have been able to offer you, it'd still be nice for you to join the society, that we can offer you as much as we can with what's going on. And hopefully next, like the second term, we will be able to do more events.
Yeah.
In person and everything.
And hopefully removing the fees might encourage more new members, maybe.
Yeah. No, hopefully increase the number of members we have, instead of trying to grab as many members with a £5 fee.
I think it's definitely going to be harder for all societies to sort of get members and maintain members this year. And particularly over summer, do you think you, or as a society, have any tips for keeping motivated during lockdown? Because I know that's probably an issue that quite a lot of people have been struggling with.
No, we've tried to do some events over the summer, but it's been quite hard to try and organise with people like doing different things and everything. But I think we're going to start doing a regular call every week where we'll do different things, maybe like a pub quiz, or we'll just do like different games like Psych or something, where people can get involved and they can just have just a change of scenery from what is going on. Yeah,
I think that's a good way of because it's definitely difficult to keep the members engaged over summer as well normally, but with this as well I think it's harder. So I think, yeah, some events like that would be a really good idea. I know that with WISE, which is Women in Science and Engineering Society, we're sort of hoping to plan some sort of similar events and some virtual events for freshers as well. So I think all the societies are doing the best they can. You know, we can't be there in person, but we can definitely still operate as a society the best we can. I was just wondering if you had any questions for WISE as well.
What are you going to start offering? Like, what's going on with your events? Because I know you're offering like the first Fresh events. Are there going to be any like industry talks where you're going to have women who have graduated from Birmingham, or like alumni who are potentially
we run some events normally called WISE Inspire, which is an event where we get speakers in from a large different backgrounds, so some lecturers, some alumni, and it's a really good opportunity to get lots of women together and talk about their experiences in science and engineering. Unfortunately, obviously, we don't think that will be able to go ahead in person. We're having some discussions to try and do that virtually, or maybe have it as a sort of webinar so that people can still attend and ask questions. And we also have a sort of joint event with other societies. And again, those sort of events we're hoping we can have as a sort of webinar. Obviously, it does make it harder to get people to come along or engage. There's no free pizza to encourage people, but hopefully we'll still get a good amount.
Because we could potentially do an event around freshers, because the ratio of girls in civil engineering has like slowly been increasing over the years.
Oh, that's really good.
Which could help gain members for both you and our
Yeah,
societies.
that's a really good idea.
So that would be fun. One thing I think that we're going to be increasing more events on our respect scheme. So one of the schemes that we do as a civil engineering department, I think we're the only society that does offer it, is that we run interviews, and we set up interviews with companies that is only for the civil engineering students, where we do workshops for interviews and CVs that we can help maximize your employability and everything, and
Oh,
to
that's
gather,
really good.
which also helps to get summer placements, because that is a very key thing
Mm.
with a lot of us. And I know a lot of them are cancelled this year, but the respect scheme really helps to get for you to have opportunities to get as many interviews as possible, because I think we have about 15 companies, and we send all the CVs to these companies, and they'll choose the ones that they think are best suited to them. But I
That's a
think
good
we're going to
scheme.
increase the number of workshops we're going to be doing towards the respect scheme, which is going to hopefully help
Mm.
final years as well
And
find
hopefully
their graduate job.
workshops might be quite easy to move online or do virtually.
No, I think because we can send electronically send the CVs and everything, and a lot of interviews are becoming virtual, aren't they?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that all sounds really good. Thank you for talking to me and sharing your time and helping people see what your society is all about.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
Thanks. Bye.